We have
Somehow,
a question. Have you ever eaten shit?
no. Well, there was a time that if somebody tells
Offered
me,
it.
somebody tells me, hey, I give you
This is chocolate with corn?
$50 if you eat that third, I will do it.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next.
Hey, welcome to the Sales Point. I'm Jerry. This is Dennis. Today we have an episode, I guess, a presentation, I don't know, about several things that some people ask us about, but sadly not you, because you never comment, but some other people around us. Is about the down moments in our career. And it's not easy to speak about down moments because I personally know somebody that he's a millionaire, and that guy has been with his account in minus 10 million, and he still considered himself a millionaire back then. And doing some business, he went up to 100 million again. So for him, when I asked him if that was the down moment of his career, he said, hell no, that's normal. So it's complicated to talk about down moments because for me, down moments are also not related to money, are more related to external factors that destroyed that peace, that
Enjoyment.
state emotion of everything. No, for me, the down moments in my career were that, even when I was broke.
I think personally I've had 3, 4 down moments where I would consider it down, like down that.
I would
not
say
necessarily based on money only, but it's based on going from, but I guess the status quo to less than status quo.
yeah.
And not just a little. It's not like you go, okay, I used to make 3,000 euros a month. Now I make 2,500. No. You go from, let's say, 3,000 to 500.
Zero.
Yeah, or zero. Yeah. You. It has to be in a greater scale for me personally.
For me, I think it has been only once. My
Switzerland, I guess.
huh?
Switzerland, I guess.
No, it's not Switzerland. When I was in Switzerland, it's like something happened in my life, and then a massive chain reaction occurred, and I was down there per a long time, and nothing that I made during those days
Made sense.
made sense. Nothing that I made during those
There was
days
no movement. It's like running
gave
in
me
mud.
money.
Like running in mud. You're trying to get forward, but you're slipping and
Precisely.
You stay in the same place,
Moving sands.
yeah.
You know, so
Quicksand.
quicksands. Yeah, quicksand.
Moving sands.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the way I did a literal transaction, little transaction,
Translation.
translation from Spanish transaction.
I like a live transaction.
Yeah. So, I personally had a very successful career before I even was 22. I mean, I was organizing concerts. I was starting to work in organizing conferences. I was working with international contractors. Everything was nice. I was starting a pasta factory.
I would have loved to do that. I love
Yeah,
pasta.
I was buying the entire factory, all the machines and everything from Brazil, and I was
When
I
you
was
mean
going to
factory,
create.
You mean the equipment, not the literal
I
building.
I had the building.
Yeah, but you bought the equipment from.
Yes, I was going to buy it. I was going to buy it. It was a project that I never concluded, but not because of a down moment or because it was going to be a failure or I failed. I didn't do it because of the communist I decide this is
transition
yeah.
in culture.
Yeah, this is not the best moment to do this. Let's wait. So then I moved to Spain. I was already a software engineer. I moved to Spain. And dude, I was just used to be an entrepreneur, just used to be working with, yeah, total, by myself, making money every month. I knew several ways of making money every month back then.
I think it's a good thing. You need to be
But-
a chameleon or a jack of different
Yeah.
trades. Maybe not all trades, but you need to have some skill
But those
sets.
ways didn't work in Spain because that was something, that was an innovation. My ways were an innovation in Latin America. But in Spain, everybody knew them and everybody was doing that shit. So I faced, for example, my first wall was, you need a special permission for that. A government license. And I was like, what the fuck? So if I want to buy, let's say, electronic equipment in fucking Japan, bring it to Spain and sell it in here, I need a special license. Yes, it's not a license. It is like a permission for the customs, for this, and that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When I used to do that in Latin America, it was very easy. I just order them, they arrive, then they go. I took pictures, I create a catalog, then I go to all the stores and offer them. What the fuck? So then I was running out of money because
Yeah, because
I
what you were
moved.
used to and what you were probably good at that point
Yeah.
wasn't working. So it wasn't.
For example, to make a concert, yeah, I had all the contacts back then, but I was in a new place.
No.
I didn't have contacts for anything. I searched online. It was kind of different. You require certain permissions. For example,
For alcohol.
If I want to create a concert as a sole trader, let's call it as a private person, I just rent a place, rent the sound. I go to the city hall, ask for permission legally. I pay a tax for that, and then I can do it. But in Spain, you need a company register because you need to invoice everybody and you need to receive the invoice from everybody. Even that my concerts back then, they were like a community thing, you know, like a cooperative thing. But well, then I had to get a job, and
That's always fun.
and sadly, the market, the job market in Spain
Education, yeah.
was very
Well, I
fucked
think
up.
in general it was bad.
Yeah. The best salary I was getting was like 1,500. Then two things happened for me. The first thing is that I got divorced. And the second thing, it just came at the same time. I was doing a master degree. I was studying a master degree in a university in Barcelona. And I paid the entire university, the entire master degree, back in Latin America with an international wire transfer. In a communist country, to do an international wire transfer, you need a permission from the government to turn your local currency into euros. And it takes somewhere from 6 to 10 months to actually get it done. So I paid it completely. The university received a letter from the government in my country and said, saying that yes, that I paid and that it was going to be processed and it was going to be ready in a few months. Okay, then I was finishing already the first master degree, and I received a letter from my government saying that they weren't paying shit. Also, the university just came to me and told me, you already finished, almost finished the master degree. I mean, we can give you, just to help you, we can give you two options. The first one is leave and don't ever come back. Nothing happened. And the second one is that we can offer you sort of a scholarship, a discount. So if you get the money, you can pay by yourself. Then I made that massive mistake of asking for 25,000 euros to the bank while I was earning only 1,500 a month. Because I thought, after my master degree, I'm gonna get a job. Yeah, I'm gonna get a job that will pay me 5,000-6,000 every month. It never happened. So yeah, that was the beginning of my down moment, and it lasted 8 years. No, not 8, but 7 years. Due to that, Switzerland happened. Due to that, the nightclub period, when I was working in a nightclub, happened. Due to that,
I would love to have done that. I tried for a moment.
I know.
When I made good money and I did it for fun. It was amazing.
Due to that, I went in bankruptcy, not legally speaking, because I never filed for it. And basically I was on the street. I had no house, I had nothing. Due to that, I accept an offer from people that I shouldn't accept.
Yeah.
And due to that,
That's what we talked about desperation. Desperation never
yeah.
provides good options.
Due to that, I had an issue with the authorities.
And due to that?
And due to that, I was...
due to that, you got with
yes,
Atenea at
yeah.
least. We figured out
you.
the situation, yeah.
And
So that's positive.
yeah, everything was going down till the moment that I hit the bottom. And after that, everything has going up. Since then, I've been working in Fasto. I wouldn't say.
What was the hardest part when you were the deepest? What kept you going? I know we discussed that before. But
Yeah, I will say.
This is a different deep, because the last time we talked about like Switzerland and stuff like this, you're mentioning another time period, more or less.
I am very arrogant, very egocentric.
No.
Yeah.
I've never noticed. I've never seen that.
And
Is that at
I'm very
home?
stubborn.
You do it at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very stubborn. I know, and I knew back then that I was born for great things.
Okay.
And one of the things.
It's good arrogance to have. Like, believe that you're meant for something bigger than sitting
Yes.
at home. You know, eating chips off your fat belly and watching fucking, I don't know what's on Netflix.
One of the things that kept me going was that feeling of I was born to do great things. I was born for successful. I was raised for it. I studied for it. I prepared myself for it. I was raised for that, and I wasn't going to give up on everything just because of a couple of incidents. Yeah. I got scammed in Spain. I was starting a T-shirt brand, and I got scammed, and that's the reason.
I like that we both, in the prior period of careers, we both started and tried starting a T-shirt brand.
Well, now we have it. The thing is that I got scammed, and that's the reason that business never went up, because my limited capital got fucked up, and then I started a second business, and I still defend myself maybe I'm stubborn or too arrogant to accept it, but I still defend myself that that business failed because of external factors. I had a partner that had more power than me in that, and he was basically using all the money to drugs and hookers. And we had fights every day, very different points of view. I have sometimes different points of view with you, but I don't know how. Sometimes, most of the time, we reach an agreement. But with my former partner, it was totally impossible. There was no way. Even if we reached an agreement, it was a lie.
I think it's ego.
Yes.
I think a lot of people never want to admit when they're wrong.
You never want to admit when you're wrong.
No, I will do it. I don't think you're always right like you do.
I am always right. but yeah, then I got very fucked up in Switzerland. I thought that was the worst moment of my life. My present self, just think about Switzerland. Oh, that was a fucking dream, compared to what it was 2021. 2021 was definitely the worst year of my life.
And some other fun stuff.
Yes.
You're single then, right? Or
yes, I was single.
so alone as well.
No.
Well, you lived in a collective or whatever you want to call it.
Well, it was a share flat.
Yeah, collective.
Collective is when you live with the government refugee or something. It was just a share flat. I was paying my rent every month.
You're a refugee of everywhere.
Yeah. I will say that was the down moment. The second thing that kept me going was that I have a family that depends a lot on me. Actually, since a couple of months ago, I decided to lower the help to them because, dude, I'm going to be
it's
30.
Hard to carry two.
I'm going to be 30 in a couple of years. I'm going to be 30 years old, and I want to have my own shit. Really, in a couple of years, I'm going to be 40.
Yeah, but I also think ultimately, if you get to own your own situation, you can provide more help in the long run.
Yes.
So short term, they suffer more, but long term, they also win.
Yeah, it's like give somebody fish and he will eat for today. Teach somebody how to fish and they can eat forever.
Yeah, but your sister is also considering coming to Europe, so you having a place for her would then also,
Yes, but in order for that to happen, I need to first solve my situation because, yes, I'm making good money nowadays, but I'm not rich. And it's not that is not my goal. My goal is not to be rich. If it happens, amazing, welcome. But my goal is to never care
have enough
about money. Yeah.
If you blow money, you're still safe. I think that's the same I want. I want to have safety.
So
I can invest into a million different things. I can lose all of the money, but then you go to the bank and you have that stays there.
Yeah, I have my
you own your situation.
My cushion.
You own your situation rather than renting it, which is what we're doing at the moment.
There are many things. I can speak hours and hours about this subject because that's another thing that fed my ego or my arrogance, that I have been in real shit a few times.
Well, we'll
it's
cover
hard
it
for
in
me to speak about those things.
We'll cover it in an episode about yourself.
Yeah, and somehow
we have a question. Have you ever eaten shit?
No. Well, there was a time that if somebody tells me, hey, I give you
this is chocolate with corn?
$50 if you eat that third, I will do it. There was a thing that, I don't know, after going through so much shit and I'm still here. That also made me arrogant. But also
it builds resistance, and that's what I'm trying to teach my son, is that life is not built by all the successes or how easy it is in your current situation where you're 8, what builds you in a successful way, whether it's he wants to play games or he wants to be a ballerina. I don't really care where he wants to go. What builds is that you're resistant to resistance, which means even if you hit it, you continue. You'll take a hit, you might take a step back, but you'll take 2 steps forward, and you'll run, and you'll do more, and you'll hit another wall, and it will smack you back, and it has to be a consistent like trait of yourself that you have to know that it shouldn't stop you. If you believe in yourself, continue. Like I watch these basketball series on Netflix right now, and they're very motivational because they're usually about black people. And they, in the U.S., are not, it's not the easiest life. It's either you go into a gang or
United States
you do
very
this or
racist
you do
country.
that. And then when they say my mom said,
mama.
this is how we fucking do it, we go that way.
Yeah.
And then she will slap the shit out of you, but she does it with love. And I watched a podcast yesterday saying basically what they loved, what our generation loved, is if you have somebody who yells at you, tells you you're a fucking idiot, but they do it with love. Instead of this, fuck that. You need to be successful, I think, in my way of thinking and doing, is that you need to tough love. Without tough love,
Yeah.
life seems easy. Life
Yep.
is not easy. Life is not built to be easy.
Yep.
Life is built to give you resistance, to find your path. And
My
then
mom
it's
used
about
to
the
go crazy
decisions
on
you
me.
make. Stand by the decisions you make in life. Like my brother failed at that. He blames everybody. I don't think that's fair. You took the decisions. You should have considered it then. It's like shooting somebody. You don't have to do it. If somebody comes with a gun to me, yes, I will shoot him. But that's a decision I still make. I didn't have to do it because maybe, just maybe, he wasn't going to do shit. But maybe, just maybe, he was going to.
Yeah.
And that's a decision. You still have to stand by it and say, yes, I did it. Whether it's for the better or for the worse, it doesn't matter.
Self-defense.
You did it. So in life, to build, again, momentum also, you have to move forward. Look at innovation. If innovation stopped with every turn that, like the internet bubble, that could have crashed everything, but it didn't. Build better. Look at now.
It will happen
now we're in
someday.
AI. I can't always agree with AI, but that's the turn that it's taken. VR and all these other things, but it's innovation and it goes forward. Whether we want to or not, there's somebody else who says, fuck you, I'm going to do it. Let's go.
There's also something that in your down moments that I remember that you need to understand. There are different types of success. Economical success is not the only one.
Not as personal success, of
Yes.
course. There's
And
family.
I consider myself one of the most successful persons in the world, just for the fact that after all I went through, I'm still here. And what makes what are the ingredients? I
Well, it's
think
also defined differently from person to person.
Yes.
Who thinks they're successful, because what you're thinking successfully for you might not be my definition.
Yeah, I
of
know,
it.
I know.
And that's the same thing as I always see with perfect parents. There is none, but the way you teach your kid is not the way I'm going to teach my kid, and it might not work even if I tried it.
I'm gonna. If I ever had a kid, I hope I never have it. I never get it, because I'm gonna take the shit out of that little shit every day if he misbehaves.
No, but I know that there's professional success, there's personal success, of course. And it depends on how you measure it. If you're measuring it, let's say promotion, then you're succeeding by doing it. If you measure it by, some people love to work to be able to live. If you measure your success by that, then that's your success. It really is different from people to people. For me, what I measure success with is, I guess, the understanding of people loving what I do. So when I provide something that people want, for me, that's successful. I want the money, but the money is part of the mechanism that makes things run. But for me, success is people loving what I do. Like the podcasts, the T-shirts, the payment processing. The
also.
payment processing, I don't really have much to do with. And it's more of a, we're resellers and brokers. But with the new thing we're building with Risto and Jaime, that's something we're building. So
Yeah.
all these things is more where we have control over the situation and
Talking about that, remember something to update
yeah,
that.
you were
that
supposed to invite the Indians.
I was supposed to do it today.
I
Okay.
know. But that means that by people saying this is amazing, again, why we want comments is for the same reason.
Fucking me.
Show us that you care. Now we're getting more and more likes on YouTube. Well, somebody likes it. Amazing. I'm happy.
Oh, right now we have like
Chubby.
right now we have like 700 subscribers. If somebody asks me what are the ingredients to be successful, I will say the first thing is never give up.
No.
If you
Well,
we
well.
spoke about that in the
Yeah.
previous episode about knowing when
It's
to give
difficult.
up,
Yeah.
but never give up on yourself,
Precisely.
not on the business.
Maybe the first thing you do is not the best thing.
I'm not talking
It might
about
be-
business only. I'm talking
No, but
about
I mean anything.
personally.
Even if you want to be the next fucking world champion of boxing, if you give up the first time you lose,
Then
you're not going anywhere.
yeah.
You're not building a career of that. So whether it's that or it's successful in love, don't give up on the first argument and like continue. If you give up, then it ends. Then you haven't lost till you actually throw in the towel. So if you continue, the same thing we talked about with crypto and everything else, you haven't lost till you actually stop. When you stop, then you're done.
Second thing is surround yourself of the right people. If you are every day hanging around with junkies and drunk people or alcoholics, sadly,
Unless you want to be successful in that circle.
that's where you're gonna end up. But if you surround yourself and you hang out every day with business people, you're gonna be a business.
I still have one little snippet that I read many years ago, and I love it. It's like this: if you go into a room and you're the most clever person there, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same. You go into a room with junkies and
It-
they
it
don't know
happens
shit,
to me always. So.
and you start talking about politics, and they like, then you're in the wrong room.
It always
go
happens to
somewhere
me.
else.
Always, everywhere
Start
I go,
elevating.
I'm the smartest.
Elevating yourself. Yeah. Whatever.
So
Water break.
the third thing I will say is
I have no idea what this is. But continue.
educate yourself. Even if you are not going to college, if you are not studying, read, watch videos, documentaries, educate yourself. Because precisely that what you just said, precisely that's going to happen to you someday. Someday you will go. You're a dumb as fuck. You will go to a place where you can have a massive opportunity there. You don't know it.
I think it is nice
then
going into a
so-
room of people that are much cleverer than you. Should give you the ignite, like the energy to think, hey, how can I be more than them?
But there are levels. It's not like, they are talking about, I don't know, Venezuela, and then you come and say, hey, where in Africa is that? That's precisely, if you do that, if there was any chance that in a future, in some years or somehow, you were going to do business with these people, after you just fucked up like that, you lose that chance. So educate yourself, learn a little bit about everything, so you can always, maybe you cannot be always the smartest guy in the place, but at least you have some understanding and you can participate and you can take
But
into
you can learn. That's the thing.
consideration. Yes.
If you're not the most clever, you
That's
can
what
take
I'm
something
saying.
from the opposite
Educate
conversation.
yourself somehow.
Yeah, precisely. I think it's good to never. I wouldn't say never. You have to be great at something, because I don't think there's a few examples. I'm mainly in football where the person is never the best at most, like anything, but there's level-headed at everything, which means that they're unique. So in one team, you can still be the strongest person because maybe it's personality what you elevate. So it's the personality you bring to it, or the understanding, or you're very strong with people, so you're a born leader but you don't know most about marketing, you don't know most about software, hardware, and all this shit, it doesn't matter. Like you said, just keep learning.
Yeah.
You keep having these conversations,
Yeah.
ask questions. Even if you feel stupid and embarrassed, say, hey, I don't understand. What the fuck does that mean? Just ask, because you will never figure it out if you don't ask. You can sit on your phone and Google, but you might ask it from the direct source, and he will be thinking, oh, what an idiot. And then 2 months, you can be like, yeah, now I get you, asshole. If you meet a person that is toxic, of course, but if you meet a nice guy that would say, okay, hey, this is what it
You're a
is.
nice guy, and you're toxic.
I am both.
I think it's time for you.
For you?
For you, yeah. Because, again, everybody has different definition of what is a down moment. I don't relate success with money. I do not relate a down moment with money. I relate it with other factors.
If you don't have the money, your whole situation changes. So in some way, it is materialized.
Let's say I am living in a cabin in the woods.
You would love that if it had fiber.
The Starlink. I'm happy with it. Let's say you're living in a cabin in the woods. That was your dream. You have free electricity, solar panels, whatever, internet cover, because I don't know. You have the food, you have everything. You don't need to pay anything. You don't pay taxes, you don't pay rent, you don't need a bank, you don't need a job. You just hunt whenever you are hungry, and you don't give a fuck.
True.
That I know
Again,
people
it's
that
independent.
living
live
like that.
off the grid, but you're still part of society.
I know a couple of people living like that, and they consider themselves amazingly successful
I think if you
because
build like a whole situation,
they are
where-
happy.
Yeah, I get it. If you build your own like crops and stuff, yeah, I get it.
They have.
But if you still have to go to the
zero,
supermarket,
zero money, zero.
If you have to go to the supermarket, you're
Yeah,
fucked.
they have zero money.
Okay.
So that's the reason I know that money cannot be
It's
mandatorily
it's not
related to
exclusive,
success.
But I would say if you live in a modern society,
Yes, of course.
it's
That's different.
Yeah. But for me, I've had, I think, after the success of my first online role-playing game I had, there was a long period where I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I couldn't really get success in work. Then it was after my anxiety. It also hurt me a little bit. And then for sure after starting this business was tough. It took a toll on me and my relationship. And yeah, I think that. And then to some extent in the past 2 years also a small part has been down because of my, what do you want to call it, my missing relationship with my son has hurt me a lot. And him telling me before I left that he doesn't want me to leave, and he wants to spend all the time with me sucks. It's nice, but it sucks. Because it's like you want to hear it, but then you don't want to hear it when you get it. So it's kind of like you always think, the grass is green on the other side. Then you get it, like, shit. It's like I complain about Kylene once in a while, that she's too clingy. But I think if it disappeared, I would think, what the fuck? You kind of get accustomed to certain things, and when you lose it, at least if it goes fast or complete, then you're going to miss it at one point. So the first part was, after that, I sold it, and I thought I was king of the world. I think I was 18.
2018.
No, I was 18.
You were 18
so
years.
half of my life ago. And I was king of the world. I could buy a car. It wasn't that much money, but I could buy a decent car. And I could party. And then the money was gone. And then I was like, okay, shit, what am I going to do now? And I did the same thing that I think most entrepreneurs do after certain successes. They try to do it again. They try and replicate it. Which I tried. Did it with two people. One was the developer, the other one was, I think, the designer. And they kicked me out, and I still don't. They were older, a lot older than me, so I think it was the age difference, and that sucked in so many levels because I was ready for that. So I struggled after that to figure out what do I want to do with my life. I went through 4, 5, 6 different educations, and I couldn't really find peace in neither because I wanted all of them. I wanted business, I wanted development. I kind of wanted to be a waiter too, but I didn't want to learn how to cook. And I wanted to do marketing, and I wanted to be a security guard. I wanted to do all.
Oh
of
my fucking god!
Yeah, I went for everything.
I wanted to be the astronaut, a police officer.
They're not necessarily, correlating in any way or related, but it was like I wanted to do everything, and then I wanted to do sales too. So I tried getting this driving sales. Just looked amazing to me. You drive a car, you go from place to place, talking to sell them shit, and I was on welfare. And my nephew and his friends, which one of them, Tinder, they wanted to party every weekend, and I couldn't afford it. I had no money. So that sucked. And they had to carry me by buying my entrance and stuff like that. So that one was rough for me because I saw myself up here. Every time I looked out the window, I was thinking, these could be buying from me. But I don't have the money to build the ideas that I had at that point. I didn't have small ideas. One of the ideas was the T-shirt, but I found out building it in Europe was so expensive.
Yeah.
And the fabric and there was so much stuff. Kylene's mom says your voice is too loud.
Okay.
No, but
Thank you.
It just didn't. It didn't pan out for me either. I kept at the bottom. I was a bottom feeder, and it didn't matter.
I hope it's better now.
She says she's listening with me to learn English.
Oh, nice.
No, but I kept sitting at the bottom, nibbling at the bits that I got because I couldn't figure out how would I go up. Mm-hmm. And finally I did. I got into emails. And that was very successful for me. I was very successful. I was one of the best in Europe.
What's its name? The email marketing. Email marketing, no?
Yes, precisely. What we're offering now for posts, but different. That back then was what they call spam now. I was amazing at it. I was really good, and I made a lot of money. But again, couldn't handle money. So money in, money out.
Get it.
And then I don't know, man. I had those different parts, but like you, I have the same ego. I know I'm meant for more, so nothing's gonna stop me. I remember one point after me and Denise broke up, I moved to Spain, come back. It was before I went to Spain. I lived with my mom. And one of the hardest moments in my life was the first time I had my son. And watching him leave.
I get it. It kills you. I think those memories is what triggers, precisely those memories is what triggers that you go crazy when you drink.
Probably. But that was the hardest moment. And after that, I started thinking, what do I need to do to provide for him? Because you can't sit there and think, I'm going to continue with my will and my dreams and my hopes if it doesn't pan out.
Do you want to stop?
No. So I thought at that moment I was talking to my mom, I was like, maybe I should get a job in a supermarket. I don't see myself working there with my ego and my personality, but at the end of the day, I have to provide. And how am I going to provide for my son if I don't make money? So my idea could be as good as I wanted to be in my head, but ultimately, if I don't succeed with it, where's the proof? So that one was rough. And that's when I really thought that maybe it was time to give up. And that meant give up on everything that I worked for so long. And it was culminating in complete fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a very tough moment. But I got something. There was something that came, and it worked out for a little bit. And then I started getting at least 1 or 2 deals that started making a little bit of money, and it started, spiraling a little bit. Then we got you on board, and we did a lot better because we needed more hands that was full-time and actively working. Sadly, Mo wasn't the solution. So yeah, from there, yeah, went up, and then again, when I decided not to live in Sweden again after I think 5 or 6 years, it was tough again because I felt like I was letting down my son, and
Yeah.
I can feel it now. He feels it, but I had to do what also made me happy because I also only have one life, and
It's what I
have so
told
much.
you.
I have so much less life to live than him.
Yeah, it's what I told you. You are sacrificing everything for him, and what you should do right now is making money because he will need it. He
See,
probably,
it does correlate with a
yeah,
little bit at
he
least.
probably will want to go to college.
Yeah, I want him
That
to.
shit is
I
expensive.
want him to. I want him to try the world.
You can. I want my son to go to college. Yeah, but he needs to want it because you cannot force him.
You can't force it.
Um, so yeah, you can stay in Sweden with him, close to him, always, but you wouldn't be probably who you are right now. You will be in a very different situation. Maybe,
I wouldn't be happy. I know that for sure.
yeah.
Because every time I go,
So
I feel like I lose a little
So
bit.
I think your son at the end, when he gets older, he will understand
Well, we're
all
immortal
this.
now.
Huh?
We're immortal now.
We are gonna be immortal. We're gonna make an episode about that. I'm gonna
Immortality.
Yeah, about the immortality, but that for to do some filter coming soon. Not today. Maybe next week or the other. The thing is that you are crazy.
Probably.
You work a lot. I admire that a lot from you. You are restless, but you struggle too much to understand the position of others. You never put yourself in the position of others. For example, I know you, and I know you very well. I know that you go to the supermarket once a month to buy a couple of things, and the rest of the time you order your groceries online or via an app. I know that most of nights you order food ready made from Walt or something, or you just cook pasta.
I love pasta.
Yeah, who doesn't? But the thing is that sadly, I cannot eat pasta like you because I don't know why. I don't process it very well.
I can't eat like Thai like you. My stomach goes to instant diarrhea.
The thing is the you don't understand how people can be busy. But people has a life. I need to go to the supermarket almost every day to buy something, fruits, meat, shit's the fish, and you never do it. And then you don't understand why I don't have 2 hours between 8 and 10 to do something from work. I have learned to live with the fact, she knows that you're sad. That's the reason, it's one of the reasons I'm changing the conversation. The thing is that you don't know what everybody else is having. I have a girlfriend. You know that since 3 years ago, she lives with me. Dude, we have 1 year living in Estonia. I think I've been out alone with her dating only twice in one fucking year. All the time we're going parties, the entire group, all the crew. So, yeah. I know I can be lazy sometimes, but sometimes I just have things to do that are not part of my job. And you struggle to understand that. I'm telling you this because right now your son is in exactly that situation. Your son right now doesn't understand why you are away from Sweden, why you're not with him, because he's not on his on your shoes. He
Also,
doesn't
he's not that
understand.
old.
he's still very small. He's
Of
only
course,
8
his
years
life is
old.
still very simplified.
Yes. So give it time. He will understand all the sacrifices you're making. He will understand someday. He will see for real because he right now nowadays he comes a week to stay with you, and we are working, and he sees you working 10 hours, 12 hours in a day, and he's just jumping around and being a kid, being happy, and he doesn't notice why my papa is working that much, why my papa is he doesn't understand it,
I know.
but he will. I promise you that he will. I you, I told you about my parents. My mom wasn't the most loving person in the planet.
That's an understatement.
Huh?
That's an understatement.
Okay. And my dad was always there, but he also had to work a lot, and he was tough with certain things. Nowadays, I understand why he did it. Nowadays, I understand.
Yeah, but
It took me a while.
same. I think in most.
I left my house when I was 17.
I did the same. Close
Uh,
to 18, I moved out because my sister and my brother was fighting to get me out.
I paid my own college. I did.
I never got an education, so I had some student debt though, because in Denmark you get paid to go to school. Well, you get paid, but you have to pay it back.
I wanted to be an informatics engineer, and I did it. I paid my shit. The thing is that when I was 17, I was still struggling, trying to understand my parents. But nowadays, I
I
understand.
think it takes a while also to see the world through your own eyes rather than trying to experience other
Precisely.
people's words, because you can't live through other people's eyes, but you can't live other, it's the same thing when somebody hypes like a movie. You have these massive expectations. You go in, you're almost always gonna get like, this was not that. But if you say this was a shitty movie and you see it, like, that's a chance. There's a better chance, like you do with Cyprus. You're trying to smash it, because then the only thing that could come out of it is positivity. You're talking
No,
shit.
I'm not. I'm not trying to do that. I really feel it. I really believe it. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's a positive maybe,
there is other thing.
because it cannot possibly be worse.
There is other thing that kept me going. Vengeance. I don't know. I don't.
I have
don't,
that too.
I
There's
don't
a lot of
want
people in school that told me I wouldn't be shit.
vengeance. It's like it's not vengeance per se. It's like
Showing them you're wrong.
sort of.
Like a big fuck you.
Yep.
I have that
You
one
cannot imagine how many people told me that I was gonna fail, that I wasn't gonna do anything with my life. Most of them are dead already. I didn't have to do anything to do with it, but they are. And
too. The courier's here.
go.
But yeah, you can keep talking. I'll have to drop off that. And then this one wants to talk to you, I guess.
Then
You can do it with Jewel. She's ready. She's taking over.
then the thing
Hello,
is
girl.
that never do drugs.
That's a good thing. I've never actually done that.
No. And if you drink alcohol that you shouldn't, if you drink alcohol, reduce the intake of alcohol to minimum levels. But yeah, I love when I see somebody that from the past that, dude, it is what it is. I am not perfect. I know that. Nobody is. When I see somebody from my past that was mean to me or was disrespectful or that was undermined me, I love when people underestimate me. I love it. I love when people don't take me seriously. And that's one of the reasons I keep dressing like this. And I
Looking like a hobo. But
yes, I don't want people to. I want people to underestimate me. Yeah, I love that. And then I just give them a slap in the face. And shut the fuck up, motherfucker. But the yeah, vengeance.
I think for me also the same. It's kind of like it's nice because I think people have this sense of if you're not dressed up with suits and ties and you're a bum.
Yeah,
Or
that's bullshit.
maybe they just expect you to not know anything about anything, and I think it's always amazing. And like I said, I find enjoyment in other people's success because it motivates me to do better.
Yeah.
So I get drive from other people, even if the people have been asshole. I don't really care. I don't care. It motivates me to just do better, find better, do more. There's always.
I am 100% self-made, and if we ever reach that millionaire, billionaire status, that massive success in life, we owe nothing to anyone, dude.
No.
I didn't have anything from my family. I didn't have, I mean, money or inheritance or something.
I didn't get money either, so
Yeah.
I didn't have any backup for that in any way. or
Just
form.
taking pure risk, failing a lot, but learning from them. And yeah, that's the best advice that I can give.
Keep trying, if you believe in it.
Yes, if you believe in something, I'm talking about yourself. I'm not talking about business. There are business that you need to analyze if you should keep continue going or not. For that, check our previous episode. We made an analysis
Should I
about
keep going?
yeah, an analysis about that. Right now, I'm talking about personally. Personally, never give up.
There will
never
always
give
be
up.
down moments in personal and business and anything you can, have in your life. There's always down moments. There's no guarantee that everything is going to be a success. It's impossible.
Suicide is
You can
not
come
an
from the
option.
Trump family. You can come from even richer family.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed shit.
No.
You can burn a lot of money. There's a lot of people that hand over their inheritance, and then it just went to shit because
Yes.
they didn't know how
Donald
to
Trump
manage
did it. Donald Trump did it before being billionaire again. He was in minus 900 million or something like that, or 90 million. He mentioned it, and he
But he
went.
had the goodwill of the banks.
Yes, yeah, because of his fucking last name, but he went back to being a billionaire to the top is because of the reality show that he had.
The Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice. So that's it. Never give up. Keep trying and trying. Suicide is not an option. Also,
No kamikaze.
yeah, lower your expectations.
I think that's healthy expectations.
Yes.
Have dreams, but healthy goals. There's a big difference between goals and then, dreams.
If you live in Barcelona, in Madrid, if you live in Germany, in France, in Denmark, Sweden,
US,
Canada. Those are rich countries. It's not easy to stand above the others if you're in a rich country. It's not easy to start a business in a place with so many competitors, so many options.
No, but that's also why
Maybe you just gotta relocate.
if you do it right, I would say the right way, with the right approach, with the right hopes, dreams,
Of
and
course.
goals and everything, then you have a bigger chance of making it later because you have the people with the money. So it's easier to get the money if that's your success, or it's easier to get 20 million subscribers or followers or whatever because you're in those affluent places. So it's easier to get the success that you might be desiring,
Yeah,
I guess.
I know a bunch of software developers that they were making decent money here in Europe. They were making 6-7K a month. That's very decent.
I'd like
but
that.
but if you go to United States, for example, the same person, the same position, paid $17,000 every month. And if you go to Norway or to Switzerland, instead of 7K, it was like 12K. So
Yeah, but
after a while, even that 7K was great salary. After a while, they noticed that they were losing a lot of things from her life. So what they did, they became the first digital nomads. They went to fucking Bali. They went to Thailand, to Philippines, working online. And probably they are making half of it. 3,000,
happy.
4,000.
But they're happy.
But they are very happy and they live there where with 3,000, it's the same that having 30,000 here.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I saw a lot of people when I was younger that called themselves directeur, which in Danish means CEO. It's the director.
Yeah.
And I always hated that because I feel like you have to earn it. Even if it's your company, okay, you're the owner.
I was general manager.
Yeah, precisely. But I'm also looking at, again, expectation-wise, is because you started talking about salary, and I can see here, for example, an average CEO in the U.S. makes $900K a year. I'm not even close to that, and I have 4 or 5 companies. I'm not even close to that.
Of course not.
No, precisely. Like
That's
the realism.
like 80,000
I know
a
that
month.
the 1% is dragging it up, of course, but still imagining that's if you're hoping, I'm gonna do this, and in 5 years I'm gonna make $900K a month or a year. Sorry, that's not realistic. It might be. That's a dream. That's a dream.
Yes.
The goal should be to manage yourself month by month. That's your dream. Your dream can be the 900K. The goal should be to manage your day to day and then grow your business.
Yeah.
Like we managed to do. That's the difference between those two. It's not realistic to get 900K unless you get a massive investment, and even then you might drive the company into bankruptcy just because you want a salary. You need to be realistic. So
Yeah.
that's
It
the
is what
thing.
it is. This podcast, in general, not this episode. This podcast in general is about our experiences. It's about how we did it.
Advices.
Yeah,
We'll try to pull in some guests.
but things that fucked us in life
Might not fuck you.
might not fuck you.
And the other way around too.
And the other
Whatever
way around.
succeeded for us might not succeed for the next one.
So yeah, maybe the last ingredient will be being a little luck. A little luck.
For sure. It can be you reached out to the right person
You don't
that
need
can help
massive
you.
luck.
No, but it's like you go into the dragon's den and you hope this is going to do everything for me. Not necessarily. Like that doesn't elevate your brand. It just means, okay, there's some awareness. You still have to pull the last lever to get maybe a person on board that can pull it to the next level or get the investment or whatever. You need a little bit of luck. And sometimes it goes by, just mentioning something to a friend like we did to Risto. And now Risto is part of us. Is just pure fucking luck. Like we had a conversation, we put it in there, and it took a while and it came back.
Yeah. Well, as this podcast is about experiences, if you want to share any experience,
We'll listen.
maybe you're a business
Always.
person, you're watching this, and you want to participate.
Or you want to be a business person, or you have a dream of something small. It doesn't even have to be a business.
We
You
are
want to be
open.
an influencer. You want to anything
Yep.
like anything you want to elevate within life. Would love to hear a story.
Yeah, write us a comment in YouTube, and we can have a chat. Maybe
Of course.
we can do a live session of consultation for free
I would love that.
here in the
I would love that,
podcast.
though. Just
So-
be completely honest and
Yeah.
see through, transparent, all that. Just provide something, hopefully, that drives somebody else forward.
You know, one thing, probably Kylene, the producers or somebody,
Producers.
will fuck this up, put it in a reel in TikTok. But if they don't do it, if you are listening to this, it means that you have 1 fucking hour listening to us. So that means that you can be the only one participating. So if you want to be part of of an episode, just type it in the comments and let us know.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We cover they next.